I couldn't figure out who the fire affinity race would be, which really seems more like the fact that they're hiding from the world more than anything. But, I mean, if it's good enough for game theory. Alright, there's the Mirage Tower. So where do I have to park this thing just to go there? Yeah, so they'll say, you're not gonna let me land on the desert area. It's gonna be here. Enter the Mirage Tower. Oh, there's a bunch of treasure chests in the middle. Let's see, hopefully there's something good here. The Healing Helm. Money, money. The Vorpal Sword. That I'm liking. Robot. Master, we have waited so long. The Lufenians made mention of the fact that they descended from the Sky People, this group that had naturally kind of attuned themselves to the element of wind. And that got me thinking, is that kind of a universal concept in this world? Which, according to the wiki that I've read, this is World A. No idea why, but that's the name they gave it. But then you get into this idea of the fact that like there's all of these other races that you kind of see where those affinities existed at one point. You have mermaids, which would be water affinity, the gnomes that you encounter very early on, that would be the earth affinity. I couldn't figure out who the fire affinity race would be, because, I mean, there's not exactly anyone who lives around Mount Gould except for the sages, and none of them seem to be particularly attuned to fire. So I went down the list of, like, other races and whatnot that are in the game. Who else may actually be a elemental fire type race? So what it came down to is like the only two races that I could think of that were possibly connected, the elves, who definitely don't seem to fit it, the dark elves, which also do not seem to be a firm match for it, and then the only one that really seemed to work would be the dragons, despite the fact that they live nowhere near Mount Gould. They live in these little chain of islands in these underground caverns, which really seems more like the fact that they're hiding from the world more than anything. So I'm wondering if the fact that they've kinda possibly at some point fled their homeland and ended up in that situation? I don't know, it makes me really kind of curious of the fact that, like, why the dragons ended up in this situation. Because it is really weird that, like, dragons of anything would just be living in these holes across a string of islands. And it's not like the dragons would have been driven out by the Fire Fiend, because the Fire Fiend wasn't even supposed to awaken for another 200 years. And only awoke early because we defeated the Lich. So it's not like there would have been some reason that they would have been like, oh no, we have to leave because the Fiend has driven us from our native volcano or something. And the only other implication I could possibly point to that they would be the fire bonus dungeon is actually right there on the chain of islands with the dragons. So, I mean, there's another, I mean, it's not foolproof evidence, it's not hardly evidence at all, really, it's just coincidence, possibly. But, man, if it's good enough for game theory, Guardians. Well, this is new. Yeah, the big thing with the Mirage Tower is the fact that it's the whole thing is supposed to be constructed around using this ancient technology that the Sky People created. That is, like, super advanced stuff that no one's ever seen before, until the Sky People were driven from their homelands. And it's fascinating to me, honestly, because it's one of those things that I don't remember from the last time playing this game. I don't remember all of this interesting kind of, like, set-down lore being in the game. Where you have this 1,000-year or so history of, like, what the fiends are supposed to, when they're supposed to wake up, and all this fallout that happened because of them that most people don't remember because, well, it was ages ago for them, but then it came down to the Lufenians who passed their memories down And because of that, they're able to remember all of this history dating all the way back to when they were originally part of the Sky People. So they are living records of everything that has happened. So, our friend left on a journey to the west. He took the warp cube and went to see our master. Use the warp cube to travel beyond the sky. It will take you to the flying fortress. Okay, so apparently I just came all this way because I didn't know I needed the warp cube. We took the warp cube to the west. Now we have to go find it to the previous floor. No, I need to leave the dungeon entirely because essentially I have to find a go high-tech stick. I'm trying to remember where I parked the airship. So supposedly this thing is supposed to be in up here somewhere? Let's see if we can go find it. Mildly irritated by the return of getting a stick after you go halfway through a dungeon. Oh! Interesting plot development. It's an elf guarding the door to the fire dungeon. Okay, that changes things though, doesn't it? It apparently, which makes me wonder then if dragons, since you're starting to see dragons in the upper floors of the Mirage Tower, if dragons are connected, are dragons Sky People? Are Lufenians half dragons? Or are dragons just something else entirely? The Waterfall Cavern, which has Matoya's music. Hasting yourself when you're the last one here against all four of us is not a good idea. 5 different directions. Which one's the right one? You know what? Screw it. Blow them up. Dude, I have been waiting. Take this cube. My flying fortress, please. You obtained the warp cube. Oh yeah, but it was later Final Fantasy games that had all created crazy science fiction stuff. Buzzword. Did I go too far? No. It's actually right above me. At least they made some of these floors pretty easy to get out of. Can 2 wizards punch a unicorn to death? Yes! Yep, there we go. There's apparently people up here. That's a surprise to me. Hey, Evil Eye. What's up, bro? Checking up some rays out here? Good talking to you. Who are all these knights? This place is supposed to have been abandoned like centuries ago. Are they robots? Are they like the Foot Clan in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon? Foot Clan were like people. They looked like people, but then they turned out to be robots because they didn't want to have violence against people on television in a kid's cartoon. Despite the fact that G.I. Joe was on the air? Death Knights are just black knights that wear red. Didn't you know that? What? You thought black knights wore black? Haha, no. You wouldn't be able to differentiate them on the background of the NES then. It's a little late in the game just to be throwing money at us, but okay. And a potion. Not even a high potion. What do we get in here? 180 gil. You've got choking. What is this? You obtain adamantite, which we can give to the dwarf, not gnome. Why was I saying gnome earlier? I kept saying gnomes. Dwarves! Dwarves are the earth. Why was I saying gnomes? But now we can give it to the dwarf. I don't know what he's going to do with it, but we'll find out. That's just money. Money I will just use to buy potions. Oh, don't give him the money, Gerald. Don't give him the money. He's just going to spend it on potions. He's an adventurer, Margaret. He'll use it on potions. Yes, that's what they do. They need their potions, Margaret. Oh, it's just a waste. They'll just use them and then they'll need them again. It's just a waste. Well, this is interesting. From this observation window, you can look out at the entire world. Listen. The observation window looks out in the world. The 4 forces of fire, earth, water, and wind appear as mist converging in a single point. A point at the center of the 4 altars. This must be the location of the Chaos Shrine. Wait, what? Well, I guess it is the middle. Sort of. Analyzing Tiamat. No known weakness. How about rocks? I mean, since it's wind, will chucking a rock at it work? Is that all any of you have to say? Really? Your entire mainframe is working on just trying to figure a weakness to Tiamat out. And you have come up with nothing. Well, I'll tell you something that it is weak against. My swords. And Punchy's fists. Punchy will punch it to death. Not fist it to death, that sounds very wrong. Money. Protect cloak. Clothes. What a weird assortment of treasure chests. I mean, I'm just speculating, but I think we just found, like, someone's final belongings. I mean, that's what it reads to me. I mean, otherwise, it just seems like a really weird assortment for this late in the game. Unless there's, like, a narrative purpose to it. An air elemental. First time we've run into them, but hey, guess who called the sprite appearance? What the? Okay. Is this one of those mazes that are like, you have to go through it, like, north, south, east, west type thing? Well, 4 steps makes it go too far. Let's try just going 3 away from it. Is this... Whoa, hey! The Lich, Merilith, the Kraken. You have defeated 3 fiends and reached my lofty perch. I like how they're always so surprised when this happens. Wait, something's coming out of it? More the better. May the image of Tiamat, the fiend of wind, be the last to burn you in your eyes. But I thought you wind, not burn. Haste Punchy because, was that going to be 28 hits? And that's it. Done. It is! It's a Lufenian! I swear, it has to be. Elves have to be the fire elemental race. Or the fire aspected race. What's up, dude? Look what I got for you. Can you make me a helmet or 3 pairs of sunglasses? Correct! I'll use it to make you find a sword you ever will. And my ears are not crazy, find a sword. Go on, take her. She's yours. You obtain Excalibur. I think next is the only thing we have to do is go load up on the fanciest items we can afford with all this money they've been giving us.